Tereng tereng, tereng tereng, tereng 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 tereng. Okay, guys, let's start the presentation today. The topic about fallacies and hypotheses. So, what the definition of fallacies? Fallacies is a flaw in reasoning or misleading argument that results in incorrect or invalid conclusion. It often occurs when someone makes an errors in their thinking process, either by accident or intentionally, to persuade others. Fallacies can be found in various forms of communication, such as debates, advertisement, or everyday discussion, and they undermine the logical structure of the arguments. Types of fallacies. The types of fallacies consist 23 parts. Okay, number 1 is ad hominem. Ad hominem is a fallacy where during an argument between two parties, one side attacks the other person's character which is irrelevant to discuss at hand. The example, when single person advise someone in relationship about possessiveness and that person doesn't accept the advice, they attack the other single status instead. Wait. Okay, number 2 is hasty generalization or overgeneralization. The example is all men are jerks. This is a form of a logical fallacy where someone generalizes that all men are bad based on the bad experience with only two men. This is called hasty generalization or overgeneralization. Number 3, strawman. Strawman occurs when someone misrepresents or oversimplifies another person's argument to make it easier to attack. Example, in a school debate on government issues, one side argues that excessive infrastructure development harms the environment. The opposing side misrepresents this by saying the first side dislikes the current government, creating a misunderstanding. Number 4, post hoc. Post hoc is a fallacy where someone over-exaggerates or believes something without sufficient evidence. The example is, they believe that if a black cat walks over a corpse, the dead will rise again, or if a lizard falls on someone, they will face danger. Number 5, circular reasoning. This one is an argument keeps circling back without strong evidence. For example, someone argues that God exists because it's written in a holy book. When asked why they believe in God, they answer because it is in a book, creating a circular argument. Number 6, burden of proof. This fallacy occurs when someone makes a claim and challenges others to disprove it. If the other party can provide proof, the person assumes their argument is valid. The example is, if you can prove my argument is wrong, it must be right. Number 7, begging the question. Similar to circular reasoning, this fallacy involves making the argument that seems unclear or ambiguous, leading the audience to confusion. Number 8, false dilemma. False dilemma represent only two options when in fact more options exist. The example, you have no principles if you just follow others. Number 9, appeal to nature. This fallacy assumes that everything natural is good and irrefutable. Two natural things aren't always good. Sometimes they can be harmful. Number 10, anecdotal. Anecdotal fallacy occurs when someone uses personal experience or selective example to argue something about the entire population. Example, a brand claims its drink is healthy because it's popular in 30 countries, some of which are the healthiest in the world, even though it's just a small sample. Number 11 is ad ignorantium. This is similar to overgeneralization but focused on one subject, where someone assumes that something about everything based on limited experience. For example, disliking one song from a musician and then assuming all their songs are bad. Number 12 is gambler fallacy. This occurs when someone believes that short-term luck will naturally correct itself. The example is investing in stock that's been declining, thinking it will rise in the next day. 13. Middle ground. This fallacy assumes that taking the middle position between the two opposing sides is automatically correct, even though the truth may lie with one other side and the other. Number 14. False cause. False cause happens when someone assumes that two unrelated events are connected. Example is during the rise of malaria. During the rise of malaria, or there was also increase in divorces, leading someone to believe that malaria caused divorces. Number 15. Appeal to popularity. Appeal to popularity occurs when someone believes something is true because its majority agrees with it. The example is believing that all the public universities are good just because the most people say so, even though there are excellent private universities too. Number 16. Slippery slope. Slippery slope involves integrated cause and effect thinking. The example is if you give food to one person, you will have to feed everyone. 17. Bandwagon. Similar to appeal to popularity, this fallacy occurs when someone believes in something because it's widely accepted. Number 18. The fallacy. This occurs when someone thinks that if argument is poorly defended, the argument itself must be wrong. Number 19. Appeal to emotion. Appeal to emotion involves manipulating someone's emotion like sadness or anger to convince them an argument. Number 20. Ambiguity. Ambiguity happens when someone's argument is unclear, misleading, or leaves out the truth, often making it seem more valid than really is. Number 21. Personal incredulity. This occurs when someone dismisses something they don't understand was wrong, illogical, even though it may just be beyond their comprehension. 22. Is genetic. The fallacy occurs when someone dismisses an argument simply because of its origin, assuming that their source make it unreliable or untrustworthy. Number 23. Special pleading. It occurs when someone creates exception for themselves to avoid admitting they are wrong. The next is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a temporary statement proposed in initial explanation for a particular phenomenon or relationship, which is then tested through research or experimentation. Hypothesis provides a foundation for scientific research as it helps researchers determine what we need to be tested and what results are expected. Next, types of hypothesis. In general, there are two main types of hypothesis. The first is null hypothesis, or H0. The null hypothesis is a statement that there is no significant relationship or effect between the variables being tested. It is often used as a basis for statistical testing, aiming to be rejected or disproved. For example, in study, the null hypothesis may state there is no significant difference in learning outcome between students who study in the morning and those who study at night. And the second is alternative hypothesis, H1 or HA. The alternative hypothesis is a statement that contradicts the null hypothesis and indicates there is no significant relationship or effect between the variables being tested. The hypothesis is proposed if the researchers believes that real effect or relationship exists. For example, there is significant difference in learning outcome between students who study in the morning and those who study at night. It is the same explanation, guys. The next characteristic of good hypothesis. Number 1, specific. The specific hypothesis should be formulated clearly and specifically so that it can be tested. Number 2, based on theory observation. A hypothesis should be grounded existing theory or previous observation. The next, testable. A hypothesis must be testable through experiment or research so that it can be accepted or rejected. The example of hypothesis. For instance, in a study on the effect or study habits on exam results, the hypothesis could be formulated as follows: null hypothesis or H0. Study habits do not affect exam result. The alternative hypothesis or H1. Study habits affect exam results. So the last part is conclusion. In conclusion, from the material I present in depth about fallacies, there are errors in argument or reasoning that undermine the validity reasoning. These fallacies are often to manipulate or mislead the public when debating, discussing, or giving opinions. On the other hand, hypotheses help individuals in determining the foundation of scientific research. Hypotheses examine empirical data according to their accuracy. Thus, by understanding logical fallacies and building proper hypotheses, we can solve any problem or knowledge development with structure and fact based on argument instead of logical manipulation. That's all my presentation about fallacies and hypotheses. If you have any question or suggestion, you can type in comment box below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.